Welcome back. This is the follow-up bottlenecking the GTX 980 Ti hybrid. Today we're going to try to cut the throat of that bottle with the i5-6400. Hi, I'm Dunk. Welcome to Respawn PC. We've tested the card with the i5-2500. Now we're going to do a jump of 4 generation to go with the i5-6400. Both are a 4-core 4-thread, but the i5-2500 is a 3.7 GHz boost and the i5-64 is a 3.3 boost. Here's the average of the i5-2500 that we need to beat. Here you can see the i5-6400, the i5-2500, 4-core 4 threads, clock 2.7, 4-core 4 thread, clock 3.3. A bit better on the speed because of the clock, a better memory latency, slightly lower latency. Same go for here. Sentiment, I don't love any of them. Nice to have age, I don't care which one is the cheapest. 2015, 2011, same instruction set, smaller chip, but boost 3.3, boost 3.7. So the great grandpa is faster on the boost. Bus 8, 5. This one we use the DDR4 2133 and this one we use the DDR3 1333. Better memory bandwidth. And this PCI Express 3, and the last video it was on PCI Express 2. So we're going to play the 4 exact same game at the same resolution and the same preset and see that the difference between an i5-2500 and an i5-6400, which is 4 generation difference, won't make any difference on the performance. So when you see on eBay on other video that get the i5-6400 cheap, but the i5-2500 Office desktop may be cheaper, will give you better results even if it's older. First off, again, we have Cyberpunk. Here you can see the i5-2500 has a 10 FPS better than the 6400, and if you look at the GPU usage, you can see that the 980 Ti have a higher usage on the 2500 than the 6400, meaning that the 6400 is a bigger bottleneck than the 2500, which is 4 generations back in time. So both CPU pin at 100% and the GPU have a difference of 20% in usage. The game is playable if you drop everything that the CPU need to manage. It's still going to be GPU bottleneck by that 6400. Next up, we have Forza 5. Again, with all the same setting from the 2500, the i5-6400 was pinned at 100% all the time, which the 2500 was in the 95 to 97% of utilization, meaning again the 2500 is beating the 6400 and definitely still bottleneck the 980 Ti. That means a second win for Grandpa CPU 2500. Now for Biomutant, it was quite a surprise to see that the 2500 was in the 80% of utilization, while the GPU was in the 90, high 80, could have pushed the graphic a bit higher. But if you look at the 6400, it was kept in the 60 FPS, some dip of 58, 56 FPS here and there. But if you look at the 6400, the GPU was at 71% of utilization, while the CPU was at 95, while keeping FPS often reaching the 60 FPS, but have dip in the low 40. And lastly, we have Battlefield 2042. Obviously the CPU is pinned at 100%, but the difference is the i5-2500 have the GPU running at 60% and the 6400 is running the GPU at 30 to 40% of utilization, which is again a big win for the 2500. So, big win for Grandpa. So, to conclude this video, the i5-2500 and the i5-6400 are not a good pair with the GTX 980 Ti, just to tell you that if you get a good deal on the 2500, you better jump on this one than the 6400. You'll be played if you get a 6400 instead of a 2500. The 6400 is 3 to 4 times more expensive than the 25, and it's a bigger bottleneck than the 2500. We still didn't get the right CPU for that GPU. But what is the right GPU for those CPU? Tell me in your comment below which GPU you will match with the 2500 and which GPU you will match with the 6400. Thanks for watching. Sub, like, do whatever. See you to the next one.